Welcome to the Evil Ewok podcast, everybody. We finally got it figured out. I was having some connectivity issues, but it's all resolved now. And I'm here. I'm alone for the Monday streams, Monday solo streams. I should really come up with a catchy name for these, as well as get an intro. But what's up, the Stanleys and Charlie? Welcome in, guys. Let's see. Why? There we go. It wasn't letting me click on the comments. Yeah, take two. The first one never actually even started. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today. I'll give a few minutes to let people like trickle in, but a lot of news, a lot of like little bits of news here and there, encompassing movies, games, and novels. So it's gonna be fun to talk about. Um, we've also got the whole drag queen situation at Star Wars Celebration that's been catching fire in the fandom because why wouldn't it? So we'll talk about that as well. But, yeah, I do apologize for the technical issues. It was super annoying because I set the stream to start, and then I did my whole intro, and, then I realized it was still saying connecting, and the stream hadn't actually started, so I just had to refresh it, get a new one going, and here we are. So, let's jump right into it. Liam Neeson, we'll start off with the big headlining news of this stream. Oh shoot, 20 months of membership. Thanks, Charlie. That is quite the milestone. That's almost 2 years. Another milestone. Thanks for everything, Zach. Thank you for everything, Charlie. And hail axe oil. 100%. Hail axe oil. My Irish boy is gone. What Irish boy are you referring to? I'm partially Irish. I could be your Irish boy. All right, but yeah, Liam Neeson. Let's bring up the article. Window, Chrome tab. I have like a bunch open. Let me find the right one. Here we go. Alrighty. So, Liam Neeson recently spoke on whether or not he would play the role of Qui-Gon Jinn again. And he said, well, let me zoom in and get rid of the docket because you guys can't really see that well. There we go. The Irish actor told Men's Health that he would not return to reprise the role after his most recent appearance in 2022's Obi-Wan Kenobi. No Star Wars, no, Neeson said. As much as I admire them, there's just so many of them now, so I've lost track, unfortunately. So that's all he said, and I don't know if I 100% believe him or not because he's said similar things in the past. He was very adamant that he would not be returning for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and he did. And he's also voiced Qui-Gon Jinn in pretty much everything he's appeared in, from the Clone Wars to I'm pretty sure he did some work for the Rise of Skywalker and as well as the Tales of the Jedi, which I was surprised that he actually came back for. But he's played Qui-Gon in pretty much every medium, and money talks. If Disney throws a bunch of money at him, he's gonna play Qui-Gon, even if he says that he won't. I feel like Liam Neeson's just pretty wishy-washy, and he likes to play hard to get. But what do you guys think? I finally get it. Like he's Irish. Your Irish boy is gone. Treat him. So it makes sense. Liam isn't the first to say no more, only to come back anyway. Yeah, like Harrison Ford and whatnot. I can't make the comments smaller, which is interesting. I usually can. Liam is the Irish boy, but it seems he ain't fully gone. You can be the Irish boy too if you want. I can be the Irish boy. We can all be Irish boys. The Stanley's dropping money bags. Make it rain money bags. God, I love that feature. Voice work tells the Jedi Kenobi Clone Wars, and he's got a particular set of skills. He does, although I'm glad that there aren't any more Taken movies being made because after Taken 1, they were pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, basically Taken walked so John Wick could run. I like Taken is like a less cool, less stylistic John Wick, in my opinion. Emoji love. Hell yeah, Charlie. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right. So, on to a more serious topic. I know Kat talked about it in her stream. Let me get rid of this window. I don't want to share anymore. There we go. Anyways, so it was announced that there will be a drag queen panel at Star Wars Celebration this April, I believe. It's in April this year. Um, and this has obviously, as always with the Star Wars fandom, sparked a bit of controversy. I've seen several YouTubers make videos about this. You know, they're upset about it. And I look, drag queens, they're not for me. Like I don't watch any of the drag queen shows. Like I think there's like a RuPaul's drag queen show. I don't watch any of that stuff. It's not something that interests me personally. But that being said, who would I be to say, well, because it doesn't interest me, there can't be a panel about it? Because it doesn't interest me, these people aren't Star Wars fans. They don't deserve to celebrate Star Wars in the way that they want to. That's not fair. They are absolutely entitled to have their own panel and celebrate the way they want to celebrate. All people are Star Wars fans. It doesn't matter if you're a drag queen. It doesn't matter if you're a straight white male. Star Wars is for everybody. It's literally freaking for everybody, and it drives me crazy when there's people belittling a group of the community because they don't agree with them politically, they don't agree with their views on Star Wars, etc. It drives me insane. Like if people would just mind their own business and stop worrying about what other people are doing and the choices that they're making, the world would be such a better place. It's I'm just so tired of this fandom sometimes. Like, it's a great fandom. There's things I love about it, but Kat and I have talked about this at length. It's just like, come on, like, why is every bit of news that comes out like this cataclysmic battle? Is it for the clicks? Is it people are people genuinely just pissed about things like a drag queen panel? Like, why does it matter? They're not forcing you to go to the panel. They're not forcing you to go to the panel. Like you don't have to go to the panel. And honestly, some of the people that I've seen the videos from, they're not even going to Celebration. So like what do you care? It's not like they're putting drag queens in the movies. They're not having the next Star Wars movie star a drag queen. Like you're not for, and even then you don't have to go watch it. If you don't like it, just mind your own and stop complaining about it. Like it's not doing any harm to anybody. It's just giving a group of people an outlet to celebrate Star Wars in the way that they want to. And I think that's fine. I think that's beautiful. Um, I mean, how many other panels at Star Wars have nothing to do with drag queens? Pretty much all of them. So don't give me that like, oh, it's seeping into every corner of Star Wars. Because quite honestly, this is the first I've heard of anything drag queen in Star Wars. It's ridiculous. Like, why do we have to complain about everything? Just let people live and let people celebrate and let people enjoy their lives. Like, why do you have to police everybody's lives? So that's just a little rant that I wanted to go on because my blood started boiling when I saw some of the things that I saw when that came out. And I do want to revisit this with Kat and Alex maybe tomorrow night or the next stream. But yeah, I mean, it seems like you guys are in agreement, which is always good to see. Like I love that my community on here, you guys are like super accepting. You're not super negative. You're kind of like me where you're critical in spots where you think that things need to improve in terms of the content, the Star Wars content that Lucasfilm puts out, but you're not attacking actors. You're not um complaining that everything's woke or trash or whatever. Like you just call it how you see it. You talk about things you like, and I appreciate that. Like that's the kind of community that I think the Star Wars fandom should be. I think you should be able to have polite discourse. We can disagree, but it doesn't have to get ugly. Like it seems like everything gets ugly nowadays. So that's why I just want to say thank you to you guys because you're super, super welcoming and super, super well thought out with your arguments and your beliefs. And I just appreciate the kind of loving atmosphere that you guys have provided ever since I started this. So thank you to you guys. And let's move on to a bit of Pedro Pascal news. He was interviewed on one of the Tonight shows not too long ago. He teased some, namely, there's an ad playing, I think, that's loud. I can hear it even without my headphones off. But they asked him what he could give away about season 3, sorry. And he decided to talk about, oh my god, this ad. I can't even make it go away. Okay, it moved down a little bit. He said, I will say there will be more Mandalorians, a lot of them. Big epic battle, plural, maybe? And then he went on to say about Grogu, he's been very good. He's still learning, teaching, protected, protecting. I think if I say any more, I'll be replaced, like not just as the Mandalorian, but as a human being in life. Their technology is so sophisticated, they'll just replace me with a different Pedro Pascal. I love Pedro Pascal. Like he's got to be one of the most charming human beings ever created. But so it seems like he's teasing some big Mandalorian battles, which I'm not super surprised about because just based off of where it feels like the um the story's going, it seems like there might be conflicts between Mandalorian groups. And oh, look who it is! It's Alice. Welcome, welcome, Alice. It's all good. We had some technical difficulties at the opening, so you didn't miss much. We're just talking about Mandalorian right now, but I think we've brought this up before, but there's not too many Mandalorians left. So if there are conflicts between Mandalorians, that's gonna like do huge dents into the Mandalorian population, right? Huge dents. Praise the Church of the Sack. I am your prophet. I am your God. Um, I'm here to start the Church of Zach. You made it in time. I like this Church of Zach thing. I just hope it doesn't go to my head. Um, but yeah, I like battles between Mandalorians. There's a lot of directions they could go with this. Is it going to be a battle between Bo-Katan's faction and the Armorer's faction? Is Din going to start his own faction? What do you guys think? Who do you think are going to be the culprits of these battles? Like the participants, what are the sides going to be? Because I'm leaning towards Armor versus Bo-Katan. I think those are two very interesting characters that kind of sit on either side of Din. You got like Din in the middle, and their ideologies are on the outside. So I could see him being pulled between those conflicting sides, which would be pretty interesting. Because we know he's going back to Mandalore. We know Mandalore is not in a good state after the Empire just destroyed it. So it's just that's what I'm most looking forward to this season. There's a lot of directions they could take this, and um, the trailers have looked great. The action has looked great. It honestly looks movie quality. It looks far better than pretty much I would say any Mandalorian season to date. It looks choice, man. I'm digging it. You know, I have a bad feeling Bo-Katan is wanting that dark saber, and Din still has it. What could go wrong? Yeah, Charlie. I feel like they're gonna have to fight because Bo-Katan had been given the dark saber willingly by Sabine in Rebels, and look what happened as a result of that. Like Mandalore gets destroyed, the Mandalorians are pretty much wiped out, and they now live in little clusters. Like a lot of bad stuff happens. So if she's of the belief that that is because she didn't win the dark saber through fair combat, then she might absolutely want to challenge Din to a fight. Bo-Katan is going down. I don't know. I'd be sad if she died. I really like Bo-Katan, and I think it's really cool that the same actress has played her in live action and in animation. I think that's really cool. Her name is escaping me because I'm so bad with names. It's not even funny. Like when I try to remember somebody's name, my brain like actively pushes it out. It's like it's such a dick move. Like I'm trying to remember her name, and my brain is just like, we're gonna throw it all the way over there, and you'll remember it at midnight when you're lying in bed and the stream's over. In the Church of Zach, we will fix Mandalore. We will make everyone a Jedi Master, and the dark side will perish, and maybe take away the dark saber and use it as a turkey knife for Thanksgiving. I think that is pretty good. You should write that on like a big stone, and then you can bring it. You can bring that stone down from the mountain, and you can become like the Moses figure of the Church of Zach. Who is with me? You guys are killing me. But yeah, I think that we could very well see a Bo versus Din showdown, and that'd make me nervous because I like both of the characters a lot. So um, I don't want to see either of them die, and I'm pretty sure the only fights over the dark saber that we've seen is Maul versus Pre Vizsla, and Pre Vizsla died in that, so it might be a to the death affair. But then again, I guess Moff Gideon defeated Bo-Katan and took that from her. But we don't know the details of that either because it doesn't seem like he was good enough of a warrior to defeat her in single combat. So maybe he took it illegitimately, and that's why things didn't go too well for him. Katie Sackhoff, yeah, thank you, Stanley's. I would have remembered that at like 2 in the morning. Sabine versus Gar Saxon. That's right. She was gonna spare him, and then he gets doesn't he get like shot? He gets shot by somebody else or something. He died. I remember that. But I like the dark side. I like the dark side too, Alice. Maybe we can implement a clause in the Church of Zack that the dark side is okay. Here's something I've been thinking about. Maybe this is my love for Giancarlo Esposito. Do you think Moff Gideon will through the fight in season 2 versus season 2 Din versus Gideon? We see he was egging her and him on, maybe. I don't know if he threw it. It's possible. I think he definitely seized an opportunity, though. And that was actually one of my favorite parts about Moff Gideon, because until then, he'd kind of been a pretty flat, like just straight up bad guy. He hadn't really displayed too much intelligence or, like any emotional depth. But there, he displayed cleverness, and I liked that because I always like a well written, clever villain. Sabine's mom shot Saxon. Right. Thank you, Stanley's. You were like Stanley's. You have like a incredible lexicon of Star Wars knowledge. I'm a little fuzzy on things, but you're always there to pick me up. Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Aliso. I don't know. Here's a robe and a lightsaber. The children in room 2. There's like 3K people in our last census that identified as Jedi religion, but the Australian government said that if anyone in future census puts that, they will be fined. Well, that's no fun. Come on. Alice, you need to write a letter to your government, a strongly worded letter. Then kill each other, but as soon as Luke popped up, he's plain feel apart. Yeah, that Luke pretty much distracted from that little riff that they had. Let's go to Australia. The Senate will decide their fates. I am the Senate. Also, I'm down for the Zack Church. Who isn't down for the Zack Church? Raise your hands. If you can tell, I'm a huge prequel fan. We all are. Treat them. Welcome. Well, you fit in perfectly around here. Prequels. I grew up with the prequels. I've watched them like 1,000 times. They're not the best in terms of quality, but they have a special place in my heart. Yeah, the wheels are in motion. The church will rule the galaxy, and then there will be peace. Honestly, Ian McDiarmid just went all out in the prequels as Palpatine, specifically in Revenge of the Sith. He was giving it his all. He was having a blast. You always love to see it. What's next? Let's bring up the docket. The fabled docket. Yes, the new Kira novel. We should talk about this because we were just talking about Kira, I feel like not too long ago in here. So yeah, let's see. So E.K. Johnson, let me get rid of all the ads as per usual. Jesus. E.K. Johnson has announced her latest Star Wars novel, Crimson. God damn, every single Maya Rudolph, please leave. Give us some space to talk about the news, for Christ's sake. Anyways, before we were rudely interrupted by M&Ms, E.K. Johnson has announced her latest Star Wars novel, Crimson Climb, on Twitter today, revealing that it will be a young adult novel focused on Kira's rise through Crimson Dawn. Lucasfilm publishing creative director Michael Siglain also shared on Twitter that the novel will be released this October, and that is seemingly what the cover is going to look like. At this time, the announcement only includes the above cover and title, no description yet. However, given Kira's high-profile role as Dryden Voss's chief lieutenant in Solo, we can assume that this novel takes place after the prologue in Solo, but prior to Han reuniting her on the First Light. So there's a lot to talk about here. So let's get into it. I'm going to close the article, though. This is a much-needed filler in the story of Kira, if you agree with me on that one, because the movie really did just jump like 5 years and then bam, she was working for a crime lord. Let me catch up some of these comments though. What is thy bidding, Zach? What's up, Sal? You haven't missed much. We just started the Church of Zach. So do with that news what you will. Love this news. Why can't we get a Crimson Dawn on television? I know, and maybe this is the path to getting that, but we'll talk about that. What about Miss Clark? I mean, carry on, unhealthy crush. Damn you, Thrones. We blessed you with open arms into the Zachism cells. Supreme Leader Zach guides us. That's Lord Zach. I think I want my title to be Lord Zach. Um, so write that down in the lore books. But yes, Kira. I love Kira. She was one of my favorite characters in Solo, maybe my favorite character in Solo. And what I'm most interested from this novel is, will she be in contact with Maul at all? Will Maul appear? Um, how exactly did she get involved in this crime organization? And was it difficult? Did she try to go find Han for there's a lot that we don't know. And I'm glad that they're continuing this, even if it isn't a novel. Um, so it's just gonna be super interesting. I'll probably read it and then we can talk about that, because that's why I'm here. But yeah, like specifically the mall thing is interesting to me because it seems like she might have known Maul in the movie, like kind of like friend of a friend kind of situation, because it doesn't seem like they were just talking and working closely. It definitely felt like Dryden Voss obviously was working with Maul, and then Kira might have been in the room with Maul or like met Maul a handful of times. Um, it's like, I don't know, like how often do you see the CEO of your company if you're just like a mid-tier worker, or like even like an assistant to your boss? Like it's kind of like that. So I don't know if we'll see much Maul, but I do anticipate seeing Maul at some point. Watto is the statue of Lord Zach. Yeah, it's like Watto with his foot crushing Sid's skull, like Terminator style. While he discusses Star Wars politics, I've been turning him into Supreme Chancellor. Everyone is with me here, and I'm worried for the future. You're worried for the future. You started this, man. Loving the Kira comics right now. Yeah, man, we've got her in comics, we've got her in the books now. We just need her back in live action. Need more of Maul kind of teaching her either hologram something. Yeah, but I don't know if they're gonna be communing at all at this point, because it feels like the start of their true relationship began at the end of Solo. Unfortunately, we haven't seen much of that because Solo did not do too well at the box office because, The Last Jedi. Oh man, Darth Maul having a new apprentice, that would be amazing. Yeah, I also want to know what Maul's up to, because we've got this whole like vacant space in Maul's story, basically post Clone Wars to Rebels. Like it's a void. We know he pops up at some point during Solo, so we can assume that he's been doing his criminal underworld activity. But I want to know, like, besides looking for Obi-Wan, which I'm assuming he's been doing, like what else has he been up to? Because Maul's a crafty dude. He's always got designs that he's following. He's very much like Palpatine in that way. He's like a less ambitious Palpatine. Um, and I wonder if he ever like attempts to kill Palpatine, or if he attempts to do anything ambitious, or if he's just content to play around in the underworld. Because we've legitimately got like almost 15 years of just blank space with Maul that needs exploring. Um, but anything else on Kira you guys want to talk about before we move on to the last topic? And then usually we have like 40 minutes of just I talk about whatever you guys want. So yeah, that thanks boycotts fans. Perfect gap between season 7 Clone Wars and Rebels. Yeah, I mean, he could show up in the Bad Batch at some point, maybe. Like it depends on how deeply involved Sid is in the criminal underworld. But yeah, we really don't know a lot about what Maul's been doing there. Maul teaches Kira Terrakasa some martial arts, as in the comics. Vader recognized the combat style as Maul-esque when Kira and Vader briefly fight. That's interesting. So I'm assuming this is post Solo. I haven't read the Kira comics, but this is post Solo Stanley's. I relate to him. When I get outcasted, I murder a lot of soldiers and take over their religion and make a new one. Wouldn't you agree, Zach? Sure, man. Whatever you say. But it's impressive. It's always cool when a character like just recognizes like a fighting style. Like I remember someone recognized Ventress's style as like a shoddy interpretation of Dooku's. I don't remember who it was. It might have been like Obi-Wan or something. But yeah, they were like, "Oh, you're," or maybe it was Luminara. I think it was Luminara. You just want Sid to get killed by I want Sid to get killed by anyone, Charlie. Like if you're down to do it, go ahead. Kira versus Vader is in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Oh wow, that's later than I thought it would be. Like, how does that fight go? I don't imagine it was very long, and I don't imagine that it would go well for Kira in like a straight up fight because Vader is Vader and he doesn't mess around. But let's move on to the next topic, which is a bit of Fallen Order news. They had to give us something after they delayed the game, so let's talk about that right now. Well, it's not Fallen. I want to call it Fallen Order. It's Jedi Survivor. We're going to need to zoom in on this because this one's rather small. All right. So, Star Wars Jedi Survival will have both fast travel and rideable creatures according to the game's director. As revealed in an upcoming issue of Play magazine, which is due to release on February 7th, Stig Asmussen, the director of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, has said the sequel will feature fast travel as well as mounts to get across the game's world. It will feature both fast travel and rideable creatures to help players quickly get from point A to point B and back to point A. Asmussen says, the fast travel is point to point, and the rideable creatures offer a way to quickly negotiate between points and explore what is in between. That's got to be good news for those wanting to take Cal and BD1 on a tour around Star Wars Jedi Survivor's map. Unfortunately, we are no longer a month away from trying out this fast travel feature for ourselves after Star Wars Jedi Survivor was unexpectedly delayed by 6 weeks. As developer Respawn revealed, the game needs a little more time to hit the Respawn quality bar. So we talked about that last week. I just want to talk about these features because I do recall having to like walk back like all the way to the ship in the first one, and it drove me insane. I wanted to fast travel, but so that's always nice. I'm always up for fast travel. And the rideable creatures is interesting. I anticipate that being sort of like a I don't know if you guys have played Shadow of Mordor, where you have like those I don't remember what they're called. They're not wargs, but there's similar things like wargs where you can like jump on them and ride them around. They're not like Roach from The Witcher or Torrent from Elden Ring where they're always with you, but you can ride them if you need like a quick way to transport yourself across the map. You can use them and then they'll just be gone. I think it'll be like that. I don't think that Cal's gonna have like some companion beast that always is with him that he can ride whenever. So that's what I'm anticipating, and that's what it sounds like, which is certainly I'm down for that. Like any way to speed up the traversal of the map is a good thing for me. And these are two good features. I'm still just a little skeptical about the game because it's EA. I've talked about this before. I do not trust EA, and I think that's a very reasonable take because EA has done this 1,000 times. They make a good original game, and then they realize that they can profit the living hell out of it on the second game, and they just like too many cooks in the kitchen. They add too much monetization. They try to just add loot boxes and stuff, and that's just what EA does. So I'm super skeptical about this game, but I'm getting less skeptical as we get closer just by things like this, like delaying it to make sure that it's good. Is definitely a positive thing in my book. Adding these features is a positive thing. The trailers do look good, and I haven't heard anything about monetization. So that's, as of right now, those are all good signs. But we're gonna have to wait and see. I will await the reviews of this game, and then I will buy it and I will play it. Kira had kidnapped frozen Han and held an auction. Luke arrives, which distracts Vader enough for Kira to flee. Damn, so Kira seems pretty cold-hearted then. She didn't even try to help Han. She just tried to sell him. Gotta catch up with my lore. If I create lore for this channel, then I need to at least learn the history of the dark side and the light. In order to understand the great mystery, one must study all aspects of it, not just the dogmatic views of the Jedi. Take EA with a grain of sand. I'll take EA with like a whole beach worth of sand. Like I do not trust them. They're probably the studio I trust the least. They're not a studio, the publishing company that I trust the least. I do not trust EA. They're so scummy. Like EA has been so awful for probably the last like 12 years or so. Um, I really bookmarked this by I was a big Madden fan growing up. I'd play Madden, and Madden used to be fantastic. And ever since like 2013, Madden has been garbage, and it's been the same game year in and year out. They don't add any new features. They take features away in like 1 year, and then 3 years later they'll bring back those features and like advertise them as like new features. It's EA sucks, and they do the same thing with FIFA. I've heard like honestly, EA is such garbage, and I was so pissed off when Disney signed that like exclusive Star Wars game licensing agreement with EA of all companies. I was beside myself. EA Sports, they shot first. EA Sports used to be so good, and now they're not. I haven't bought Madden in years. Madden, that's a name I've not heard in a long time, man. Yeah, it's because it's trash now, Charlie. I just want like a good NFL game, but they have the exclusive license. I find the lack of effort disturbing, as do I. But that does it for the docket. The docket is now complete. So it's I'm opening up the floor to free talk time. We can talk about whatever you guys want until I have to go eat dinner. So what's new with you guys? What have you been up to? I find the lack of free disturbing. Yeah, for real. For real. But yeah, what would be like an ideal Star Wars video game for you guys? Like what's your dream Star Wars video game? Let's go there. Let's talk about that. For me, I love open worlds. I'm a big fan of open worlds. Like I love the old Bethesda games, like Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas is one of my favorite games ever. I love Fallout New Vegas. Skyrim, obviously. I never got into. I tried to play Oblivion, but I don't know. Like I could never get through Oblivion for whatever reason. But I've heard really good things about it. I really wish they'd remaster it so I could play it. Because I've tried the old version. I don't know. I'm usually not a graphics guy, but I think it's something about the graphics or just the gameplay that I don't like. But I love Bethesda games. I love just getting into this big sandbox world and exploring. I love stuff like that. And I think a Star Wars game, it'd be pretty ambitious to do that because it's a galaxy. It's not really a world, but I would just love that. So what are you having for dinner? I had a very underwhelming lunch. I don't know, Alice. Like I had like leftover pasta for lunch. I think I might make meatloaf, which is like a very American thing to do. I'll make meatloaf, but I use ground turkey. I use a lot of ground turkey. I don't really eat too much beef, so I use ground turkey and stick it in the oven. Add some cheese afterwards. It'll be good. EA is part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take it away. You watched The Last of Us. Thoughts? I have not, and it's driving Alex crazy because he wants to talk about it, and I'm always like, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. I've played the game. It seems very faithful to the game, and it seems like people are enjoying it. So I will watch it. I'm just trying to get through The Walking Dead, and they're very similar shows because they're both like zombie apocalypse shows. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch it, Stanley's, and then we'll talk about it. I'll try to watch it by at least Thursday. Um, I can't guarantee I'll watch it by tomorrow night for the Bad Batch stream, but I'll try to watch it by Thursday. No worries, Lord Zach. Enjoying these solo streams. I'm glad you guys are. I'm enjoying it too. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with each one. Um, so maybe next week I'll make like an intro, a solo intro. Man, I missed my lunch entirely. Sorry, Alice, for a boring lunch. Doesn't that suck? Like you just feel terrible when you miss lunch. Like you feel sluggish, and it's just not a good feeling. I'd love a Star Wars video game like Battlefront 2, but with more people. Our servers are always dead, so it's hard to find a game to play against people. I feel that, and they're not making a third one, so I'm genuinely curious to see what the next like FPS will be for Star Wars because they're gonna make one at some point because FPSs are super popular. Um, Honestly, I played both of the new Battlefronts, but my heart still lies with the old Battlefronts, and I never really played those online. I would just play against the computer. And I think part of the part of the reason I didn't like the new ones is because they didn't really have a sufficient mode where you could fight the AI like the old ones did. Like the old ones were so good. Like you could play on any map. There'd be like hundreds of computer operated enemy soldiers, and it was just fun to play when I was a kid. I mean, it's pathetically easy now. Like I've played them since, and it's just so easy. But when I was a kid, that was really fun. It like really felt like I was in a battle in Star Wars, and I love that. Um, so yeah, hopefully they'll come out with a new FPS for you at some point, Alice. Mandalorian Civil War video game pre Phantom Menace era. That'd be sick. That would be pretty sick. Would you want to see Django in that, Sal? Was that something that interests you? That'd be cool. Did someone summon Master Alex already? Not yet, but you can get that going. Wookiee versus Trandoshan video game. That'd be sick as well. I'd want General Grievous to become like he was in the O3 series again. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. They've pretty much changed him completely to like if you just look at it's not just the O3 series. Like if you look at some of the Legends comics, like some of the Dark Horse stuff, Grievous was freaking dark and he was scary. And now he's just been turned into a totally different character. In canon. I don't think we're ever gonna see that O3 series Grievous again. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? A true story. My ideal game is give Sam Witwer the rights for the game and The Force Unleashed 3. He was on Twitch the other day. He made it sound like it wouldn't end well for Vader. Enters and yep. Yeah, I mean he kicked Vader's ass a few times, so I don't think it would end well for Vader. I had Force Unleashed on the Wii, and that was the best. I never played the Force Unleashed. I've watched the cinematics for both games, but I never played it. I'm not sure why. I just never did. I think that it was because I entered this phase in middle school and like early high school where I believed that I was too cool for all the stuff I liked as a kid. So like I didn't really pay attention to Star Wars. I didn't pay attention to like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or like any of that stuff. I was pretty much done with it. I was like, that's for babies. And regretted it shortly like a few years later and fell in love with like most of that stuff again. And I think The Force Unleashed came out when I was in that phase, so I was just like, "Oh, I'm not gonna play that. I'm too cool for Star Wars," which is no one's too cool for Star Wars, folks. Never think that. But yeah, that's probably why I never played the games. They should have dismemberment in Force Unleashed 3. They should. You should be able to like disable it or enable it if you want. They should definitely include the option. Jango Fett, if not his mentor, Jaster Muriel, definitely, or just completely new characters. I've been campaigning for John Bernthal to play a Mandalorian for a while. I love John Bernthal. Absolutely love the guy. Like a game where you get to throw a mace out of Windu, and it's like who can throw him the furthest. That would be yeah. I'd play that. That'd be fun. You hate Mace, don't you, Alice? Um, dude, Mace Windu went out the window. Whenever I would do what ifs and I'd talk about Mace Windu and I'm writing the script, I always type Mace Windy because the Y is right next to the U key, so I always hit the Y key and it's always Mace Windy on accident. Guys, Mace Windu goes out the window and then it's kind of like Flappy Bird. See how far you can go. Flappy Windu, the Punisher in Star Wars. Are they gonna bring him back as the Punisher? Because the Punisher is a great character, but I feel like Disney I feel like a lot of the people who like the Punisher, not everybody, but there's definitely a sect of people who love the Punisher, if you catch my meaning, that hate everything Disney does, and Disney doesn't want to, I don't know, like make stuff for those people because I feel like the Punisher it's not fair because it's a character that belongs to everybody. Like I feel like a lot of people on the far right love the Punisher because he like takes matters into his own hands and he's a vigilante and he does the hard things that other heroes aren't willing to do, which is unfortunate because he's a good character and I think that he belongs to everybody. Come get some Mace Wendy's special promo when you get number order 6. I like Wendy's. Wendy's is a good establishment. Punisher possibly showing up in Daredevil series, but cautiously optimistic he will return. They are. I'm probably gonna water him down. Oh, absolutely. And they're gonna water Daredevil down too, which I'm not looking forward to. I really liked his portrayal in the Netflix series. I don't want them to water him down. They already watered down Kingpin in like the brief amount of time he appeared in Hawkeye. So I'm just assuming they're gonna do the same thing to the Punisher and Daredevil. Amazing run, right? Shane Frank Castle. I want Netflix Punisher. Yeah. You missed the Ant-Man show. I'm back. Hi, guy. What's up, Charlie? Other Charlie. The Punisher. I haven't watched the Netflix Punisher. I've seen that meme where he's like, wait, 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 wait. I love that, but I haven't watched the show. I just remember him showing up in Daredevil, and I liked him in Daredevil. He has a personality, all right. I'm a best way MCU Punisher could work is if they adapt Punisher War Machine storyline where Nick Fury lends Frank the War Machine suit and Frank's just straight up keeps it. They could do that. They could certainly do that. That's the great thing about the MCU, and I'm not always like I'm pretty critical of it for being formulaic, but they really do have so many different like comic storylines that they can adapt. They could choose from. They can blend them. They have a lot of different directions they can take every character, and they have a lot of different directions they can take every storyline. And I think that's cool. And I wish Star Wars would lean into that a bit because they have legends. They have years of comics and novels and stuff that they can take and they can make something out of it. Bring back Stanley. I'm sure they're working on it. They're giving him the Disney treatment. They have his head frozen under Disneyland or something. Charlie Cox, I'm meeting in July, aka Daredevil. He's got that great first name strong. Yeah, he does. You guys can bond over that. That's cool, Charlie. You meet a lot of interesting people and cool actors. That's awesome, man. Thanks. Can snap him back into reality, I swear. Thanos. I love Thanos. Thanos was a great villain. But yeah. Anything else you want to go over, guys? I'm thinking of ending this a little early because meatloaf takes a while to make. Like I have to put it in the oven for like an hour, so I want to get started on that. So maybe we'll go another 10 minutes or so, if you wish, or we can just end this now. It's up to you guys. Um, but yeah, Star Wars video games. What's your favorite Star Wars video game? Let's talk about that. What about the Droid Attack on the Wookiees? Mine is probably Knights of the Old Republic, the first one. I'm very sad that the remake got delayed indefinitely. That's never something you want to hear. But I like that one, and then I like the two Battlefronts, the original Battlefronts. Those are probably my three favorite. Doom Patrol actor Jovan Wade, aka Cyborg, is coming to my town this summer. Excited to meet him. Met Vigilante actor next year in Peacemaker. Awesome dude. Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. I hope that they're cool people. So, because I feel like most actors are pretty cool, but there's always like it's always disappointing when you meet someone and they're just not that cool, or that like it's like you're bothering them or something. But I hope it goes well, Sal. No worries, Zach. Thanks for having us and letting us create the Zach Church. OG Battlefront and KOTOR 2. I need to play KOTOR 2 again. My roommate loves that one. He likes it more than the first one. I'm a sucker for the first one, but I did play KOTOR 2 once and I liked it. I just liked the story of the first one better. Did you end up watching Banana Man? I have not. I'm a little behind on a lot of things, but I'm not forget. I remember the Banana Man thing. I have to watch to finish The Walking Dead. I have to watch The Last of Us, and then I'll check out Banana Man. I promise. Rock on, Sal. Rock on, indeed. The only celebrities I've met are Giancarlo Esposito at Star Wars Celebration, Ashley Eckstein at Star Wars Celebration, Whitwer at Star Wars Celebration. I saw Carl Weathers at Star Wars Celebration. I gave him like the what's up head nod, and he gave it back. But I don't think that counts. But I did give Carl Weathers the head nod, and he returned the gesture. So I've also met I met Derek Carr, the Raiders quarterback, back when the Raiders were in Oakland, not Las Vegas, which was pretty cool. I'm not a Raiders fan or anything, so it wasn't as cool as it could have been. But yeah, make it new show for it come out from Kang and Charlie Cox played. The She-Hulk dance was good. I'm not 100% sure what you're trying to say, man, but I have not seen She-Hulk, but I'm excited about Kang. I think he's got a lot of potential. It's a cool cartoon from when we were young. It's on YouTube. Oh, that's right. You said it was on YouTube. Okay. Yes, dude, Zach, please tell the story of Giancarlo Esposito's staple picture. Okay, I'll tell the story. So, um, it was actually like a pretty hectic time at Star Wars Celebration because I had been hanging out near the live stage, and they had announced that they were gonna have, or they were like setting the stage up for guests. Like they had two chairs come out, and that usually meant that they were gonna bring guests out. And I was hoping that they would bring out Hayden and Ewan. Like that's what I've really been like waiting for. Like every guest, I would hope it would be Hayden and Ewan. And when they brought the two chairs out, I was like, well, maybe it's Hayden and Ewan. The problem was that in 30 minutes from that point, I was supposed to go meet Giancarlo Esposito for the photo op. Um, and I was like, well, I'll just wait. I'll wait to see who comes out. And if it's not Hayden and Ewan, I'll just go over and stand in line for the photo op. And it was Hayden and Ewan, and it was incredible. It was amazing. I'll never forget it. It was so awesome. But the problem with that was that it pushed me up against my time to meet Giancarlo. So as soon as they went off stage, I rushed to the line, and I stood in line. I was towards the end of the line, and the person in front of me, the dude in front of me, he he had a box cutter, and he wanted to get the picture. Like I wasn't the first one to do it. He wasn't the first one to do it ever. Like people have been doing this for years, where Giancarlo Esposito like poses with you and he holds the box cutter to your neck, like in Breaking Bad. For those of you who haven't seen Breaking Bad, Giancarlo Esposito, one of like the most famous scenes that he's in is where he like slits someone's throat with a box cutter. So this dude gets his picture taken with Giancarlo with the box cutter, and I'm standing there like miffed because I didn't think that you could bring a box cutter into Star Wars Celebration. Like I had thought about doing it, but I was like, there's no way they're gonna let me bring this sharp object that can be used as a weapon into Star Wars Celebration. There's no way. So I didn't even bother. And lo and behold, this dude brought one in and got the picture. So I walk up, shake Giancarlo's hand, um, say nice to meet you, blah blah blah, and then we start posing, and then I jokingly say like I wish I had brought a box cutter, and he was like, you should just use his, and I was like, haha, yeah, that's real funny. And he's like, no, really. He's like, excuse me, can we have your box cutter? And then the dude is not, he's not going to tell Giancarlo no, so he gives me the box cutter, and then Giancarlo and I take the picture, and Giancarlo gives me the box cutter back, and he's like, there you go, now say thank you. Give it back to him, say thank you. And I was like, yes, Giancarlo. And so I said thank you, got the picture, and yeah, I don't think I don't have it on here, unfortunately. It's, well, do I don't think I do. Let me check. I'm like 99% sure I don't have it on my computer for some reason. Pictures, I do not. I don't have it. It was on StreamYard, but it's not on here. So maybe next time I'll show you for those of you who haven't seen it. But he was a really nice dude. I really enjoyed meeting him. The only proof we have of the Lord Zach is a picture of him with Giancarlo Esposito. The story goes that he was looking, what I lost it for two British dudes. Here, let's see if I can like get it up. Just give me a second. I'll send it to my computer or something. Giancarlo is a good chicken fryer law and a good killer. Yes, he's a multi-talented man. Walter, I love that meme. Put the box cutter away, Walter. You're not supposed to bring that to Comic-Con, Walter. That meme is hilarious. Hang on here. I'm trying to find it. I'll email it to myself, and then you guys can see it, and and you can have a visual aid. Gmail. I'm surprised it's not on my computer. I should just leave it on my computer. But until it sends, let's kill some time. But yeah, Star Wars Celebration was great. I'm really excited for those of you who get to go this year because it's in London. You're gonna love it. There's lots to do. I went for like 3 days. By the third day, I was running out of stuff to do just because I didn't get into any of the panels, and that was a little unfortunate. Because that's a lot of what you kill time with. But it's great. There's a lot of shops you can walk around and spend your money and buy a lot of Star Wars stuff. Whether you're into like Lego sets, action figures, T-shirts, you name it, they have it. Lightsabers. The live stage is pretty cool to hang out near. That's what I did. I spent a lot of time by the live stage and just saw a lot of interviews like live. Um, and then you can get photo ops and stuff. There's a lot of cool art that you can buy. I bought. I don't know if I've ever shown it. Let me grab it. I bought a picture. Um, I bought a picture of an artist made that he was selling, like a print, and then I had Ashley and Whitworth sign it, and here it is. So, yeah, that's um that's probably like the coolest thing I have from Celebration. But there's a lot to do, so if you guys are going, I hope you have fun. Um, I don't think I'll ever forget my experience at Star Wars Celebration. It was a blast, especially seeing Ewan and Hayden on stage. I didn't get to meet them, but they were pretty darn close, and that was really cool. Um, but yeah, it's coming up. It's in April. It's earlier than it was last year. Oh, he got summoned. He finally got summoned. Dude, I'm going for a week after Star Wars Celebration UK. I'm going to look at where Andor was filmed. So April's going to be epic. Yeah, it sounds like you're going to have a hell of a month, Charlie. Definitely want to try to go to the next Star Wars Celebration. I don't have they announced where it's going to be next? I assume it'll be back in the States. Hopefully it's I would selfishly hope it's on the West Coast, but I think they might put it in like Florida or something. This went from me making a Liam Neeson joke to me making a religion, and now I'm looking at a text about a girl twerking. Zach, I'm ready to ascend. You are ready, my child. What's up with that? Matt have to keep knocking him out and putting him in timeout. Yeah, Matt, just cut it out, man. Alex with 3 X's. Double fist, double fist, double fist, double fist. But yeah, let me get that picture. It should have sent. All right, I have to download it. Download it. There we go. And now I'm going to have to put it into Opus. Yeah, I'll upload as an overlay. Does it not want to upload? That's annoying. Why won't you upload? Yeah, it's not uploading. I guess I can share my screen and you can see it that way, which I will do in a second. And then I can kind of break down. Well, I already kind of explained what happened, but it's always helpful to see a visual aid, don't you think? Okay, so here's Giancarlo and I. And there's the box cutter. I guess I could zoom in a little bit. Everybody who sees this picture is like, "Oh, that's such a sweet pose." And they don't know that he's supposed to be slitting my throat. So I'm always like, well, it's not really a sweet pose. He's actually like murdering me. So yeah, I have this picture. It's not framed, but it's like on display in my apartment. What's up, Dr. Mad Studio? Hello, folks. Greetings from Britain. I know it's late over here, but I'm a night out sometimes. So am I. It's not super late here, but I will be up very late. I'm more productive during the night, so I feel you. Zach is actually already dead. Yes. I died. That's where I died. I'm actually just like an AI that can perfectly imitate Zach. So Treatum started a church about an AI, basically. That's what we're getting at here. What's up, Doc? But yeah, this is when I met Giancarlo. Very cool dude. Very nice man. You always wonder, like, are they gonna be nice? Are they gonna be like kind of over it and like not really into meeting their fans? But he was really cool. He didn't seem exhausted or worn down by the fans at all, which was good to see. You look quite happy to have been sacrificed for our sins, Zach. Well, you know me, man. The Emperor somehow lives. Yeah, I would have liked to meet. I debated meeting Ian McDermott, but it was like $200, and I did not want to spend that much money, so I did not meet Ian McDermott. Anthony Daniels was pretty expensive too, if I remember correctly. But I think I Ewan. What was Ewan like $300, Alex? Was it like 3 or 400? Oh, are you meeting him? Did you like get to sign up to meet him? Cool. I've met many Star Wars guests in the last 10 years. I've been going to conventions, some of which are no longer with us, like David Prowse, Kenny Baker, and Jeremy Bullock. Yeah, those guys are all legends. I remember I was really sad when all of them died. And also um oh god, I'm again with the names. I'm so bad with the names. The guy who played Chewbacca, Peter Mayhew. I was sad when he died too. Ewan for 350. That was worth it though. I would have paid that to meet Ewan. Amanda got it. Oh, dude, you guys are so lucky. You guys are so lucky. That's so cool though. And Charlie, yeah, that's awesome, Charlie. I met him 2 times. He's so much energy, man. He's always kind. Signed my dark saber, and we talked Bruce Lee. Yeah, I mean that's like every interview I've seen with him. He really does like answer really thought out questions or really thought out answers. He's such a cool dude. I'd expect a marriage proposal from Hayden or Ewan for that price, right? I will pay anything for him to tell me the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. I'm sure he does. For anyone wondering, I live in Merseyside, not far from Liverpool, where the Beatles came from. I've heard of Liverpool. Um, is that? I always feel like Liverpool's in South England. Is that incorrect? Because I know London. I know where London is, but is Liverpool in the south? Because I don't know. Like I always feel like it is, but I could totally be wrong because I'm an American and I don't really know my London geography. Chewbacca died. Well, I feel sad now. Yeah, he died a few years ago. Liverpool is in the north. Okay, so I was completely wrong. But yeah, Liverpool and London. Those are the two ones that I know. Um, are you going to Doc? Are you going to Star Wars Celebration since you live in England? Because I'd like to go. I just don't have a my passport is expired and that's a whole thing. And I also don't want to pay the money to fly over there. Tell Hayden Alice from Australia loves you and wants you to go to Australia. Yeah, Alex. You better I want I want that to be what you tell Hayden. Catch a boat instead. Yeah, but then it takes like weeks, right? And I'd have to go probably to like New York to get on a boat. Can't afford celebrations sadly, but at least I've got other conventions to look forward this year. Yeah, and it's cool and like this like people like Hayden and people like them, they come to the smaller ones and it's cheaper. So that's probably the way to do it if you don't want to shell out for a Star Wars Celebration because Star Wars Celebration is definitely like the premium one. It's like Comic Con and Star Wars Celebration. They're really expensive. Howdy from America, folks. Hell yeah, brother. Same here. But folks, I think that's gonna do it for me. We're approaching an hour. I am starving. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. I'd suggest that all of you who are in my time zone do the same. All of you who are not, have a great night, afternoon, morning, whatever it is for you guys. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Evil Ewok podcast. That's okay, Doc. You made it. Better late than never. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for the Bad Batch stream.